I've been a patrol officer for just over 7 years now, working nights in a mid-sized town in the Midwest. Night shift teaches you something fast. Most calls aren't what they seem at first. You learn to expect lies. You learn to expect fear. But every once in a while, you walk into something that doesn't make sense at all. It was around 3:17 a.m. when dispatch toned me out. Unit 12, respond to a welfare check. Caller reports hearing repeated knocking and screaming from inside a vacant property. Vacant property? That already felt off. The address was a 2-story foreclosure house on the edge of town. One of those places banks forget about. No electricity, no residents, no reason for anyone to be inside. Still, screaming changes things. I acknowledged the call and headed that way. The neighborhood was dead quiet when I pulled up. No lights, no cars, no movement. The house itself sat at the end of a cul-de-sac, slightly separated from the others, like it didn't belong there anymore. Even from the cruiser, something felt wrong. The front door was slightly open, not kicked in, not broken, just open, like someone had walked in and never bothered to close it. I radioed in, dispatch, Unit 12 on scene, open door, possible entry, starting check, advise another unit. Backup was about 8 to 10 minutes out, so it was just me. I stepped out, unholstered, flashlight up. The porch creaked under my boots. I announced, "Police department. If anyone's inside, make yourself known." Nothing. Just silence. That kind of silence that feels thick, like it's listening back. I pushed the door open. It groaned slowly, dragging across the floor. Inside smelled like mold, and something worse, something faintly metallic. The living room was empty. No furniture, no signs of recent activity. But the floor, it was covered in dust, thick, undisturbed. Except for one thing. Footprints, barefoot, leading from the front door, deeper into the house. That didn't sit right. Why barefoot? And why walk into a dark, abandoned house? I followed them, slowly, each step careful. Halfway down the hallway, I heard it, a soft knocking sound. Not loud, not aggressive, just knock, 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 pause, then again. It was coming from upstairs. I stopped, listened. Then I heard something else. A voice, very faint, almost like it was coming through a wall. "Help me." I froze, because it didn't sound like someone yelling. It sounded like someone speaking normally, from somewhere they shouldn't be. I moved toward the stairs. Each step creaked louder than it should have. Halfway up, the knocking stopped, completely. That's when my gut told me something was wrong. Not danger wrong, not suspect wrong, just wrong. I reached the top. There were 3 doors, all closed. And then, all 3 doors slowly creaked open at the same time. I didn't touch them. No wind, no movement. They just opened. I raised my weapon fully. "Police, show me your hands." No response. Empty. Nothing inside. Not even dust disturbed. Same thing. Completely empty. This one was different. The air felt colder, heavier. The knocking started again, but this time, it was coming from inside the walls. Not the room. The walls. I stepped in, shined my light across them. That's when I saw it. Scratches. Deep, frantic scratches, all over the drywall, like someone had tried to claw their way out, and written over and over again, "Don't open it." I backed up slightly, heart racing now. Then I heard something behind me. The closet door was slightly open, just a crack, and something moved inside. I snapped my light toward it. "Show me your hands, now." Silence. Then, the closet door slowly opened wider. Inside, there was no one, but the back wall of the closet wasn't a wall. It was a wood panel, and it was moving. I stepped closer, pushed the panel. It swung open. Behind it was a narrow crawl space, pitch black, and the knocking, louder now, coming from deep inside. Then the voice came again, clear this time. "You came back." My blood went cold. I hadn't said anything, and I sure as hell hadn't been there before. Right then, my radio cracked. "Unit 12, backup on scene." I called them upstairs immediately. 2 officers joined me. I showed them the crawl space. One of them muttered, "What the hell is this place?" We went in, one by one. It was tight, barely enough room to move. The air smelled rotten. About 10 feet in, we found something, a mattress, old, stained. Next to it, food wrappers, water bottles. Someone had been living there. Then we found something else, a broken phone, still faintly glowing. On the screen was the 911 call screen, the same call we responded to. But here's the problem. Dispatch confirmed the call came from a landline, registered to the house. There was no landline in the house. At the end of the crawl space, we reached a small chamber, and that's where we found it. A chair, bolted to the floor, with restraints, and on the wall, written in dried blood, "It pretends to be you." One of the officers whispered, "We need to get out." And I agreed, immediately. As we turned to leave, we heard footsteps, not behind us, in front of us. Something was moving deeper inside the crawl space. Impossible. There was no exit. Then the voice came again. But this time, it wasn't pleading. It was calm, and it sounded exactly like me. "You shouldn't have come here." I felt every hair on my body stand up. The officer behind me whispered, That was you." I shook my head, because I didn't say a word. We got out fast, faster than I'd ever cleared a structure. Once outside, all three of us just stood there, trying to process it. Backup units arrived, supervisors, detectives. They searched the house again, top to bottom. Official report. Here's what they wrote. No suspect found, no victim located, no evidence of recent habitation. The crawl space, gone. The closet led to a solid wall. No panel, no opening, nothing. I requested my body cam footage. The first half was normal, entry, search, everything. But once I reached the third room, the footage glitched. Audio distortion, visual static, and then a single clear frame, a figure standing behind me, tall, thin, and smiling. Aftermath, I don't take night shifts anymore, and I don't respond to vacant house calls alone, because whatever was inside that house, it didn't just mimic voices, it learned them, and sometimes, late at night, when my radio crackles with static, I hear my own voice, calling for help. I've been a K9 handler for just over 8 years now. My partner is a German Shepherd named Rex. He's 4, highly trained, and one of the most reliable dogs I've ever worked with. He's been in abandoned buildings, dark warehouses, wooded areas at night, you name it. Gunfire doesn't shake him, crowds don't shake him. I've never seen him hesitate, until that night. It started as a pretty routine call. Around 11:40 p.m., patrol attempted to stop a suspect for questioning a few blocks away from a quiet residential neighborhood. The guy took off on foot. Officers chased him through a couple of backyards, but lost visual contact near a property at the end of a cul-de-sac. By the time I was called in, they had already done a quick sweep of the exterior. What they found was off. A side gate to the backyard was open, and the back door of the house unlocked. Now the homeowners weren't there. They were out of town, confirmed. So the working theory was simple. The suspect ran, jumped into the yard, and forced his way inside to hide. When Rex and I arrived, there were already 2 officers posted outside. They gave me a quick rundown. "No signs of forced entry," one of them said. "But the door shouldn't be open." I nodded. That was enough for me. I put Rex on a short lead and gave him the command. "Search." He moved immediately, focused, controlled. We cleared the first floor room by room. Living room, clear. Kitchen, clear. Laundry room, clear. Nothing out of place. No signs of movement. No noise. But there was something about the house. It felt too still. We moved upstairs. The second floor had a narrow hallway with 3 bedrooms and a bathroom at the end. The air up there felt heavier. No windows were open, no airflow, just stale silence. We checked the first bedroom, empty. Second bedroom, empty. Then Rex pulled toward the bathroom at the end of the hall. I followed. Inside, everything looked normal. Sink clean, towels folded, no sign of anyone. Rex started sniffing around the edges of the room. Then suddenly, he froze. Not the kind of pause he does when he's curious. This was different. His entire body stiffened, ears forward, muscles locked. Then came the growl, low, controlled. The kind he uses when he's warning, not reacting. I straightened up. "What is it?" I muttered. Rex wasn't looking at anything in the bathroom. He was staring out into the hallway. I stepped backward out of the bathroom with him, and that's when I saw it. At the very end of the hallway, near the last bedroom, there was a man standing there, tall, completely still. He wasn't moving, he wasn't saying anything, just standing there. For a second, I assumed it was one of the officers, but that didn't make sense. They were all downstairs, and protocol says you announce yourself. I raised my voice. "Police, let me see your hands." No response. Rex's growl got louder. Then something happened that I had never seen before. He started pulling backward, away from the hallway, not aggressive, not excited, afraid. I tried to guide him forward. He resisted, hard. My focus went back to the figure. "Hey, I'm talking to you." Still nothing. Then, slowly, the man turned and walked into the last bedroom. No rush, no panic, just walked. I immediately got on the radio. "I've got a possible suspect upstairs, end of the hall. Start moving up." I pulled Rex forward. He planted his feet, wouldn't budge. "Come on," I said under my breath. Nothing. At that point, I had to move. I couldn't just wait. I stepped forward alone, weapon drawn, heart rate up, but controlled. I reached the bedroom door, took a breath, then pushed it open. Room was empty, completely empty. Bed against the wall, dresser across from it, closet door open, nothing inside. Window, closed, locked. No movement, no sound, no sign that anyone had just walked in. Backup came up seconds later. 2 officers behind me. "You said he came in here?" one of them asked. "Yeah," I said. "He was right there." We searched everything. Closet, under the bed, even checked the walls for access points. Nothing. Then one of the officers tried to bring Rex in. "Let's see what he does." Rex wouldn't even cross the doorway. He stood in the hallway, staring into the room, growling again. I had never seen him refuse a command like that. Not once. We cleared the rest of the house again, top to bottom. No suspect, no sign of forced exit, nothing. Eventually, we had to call it. Whoever was in that house was gone, or never there to begin with. But here's the part that stuck with me. When we were leaving, Rex stopped at the top of the stairs and looked back down the hallway, right at that room. He didn't bark, didn't growl. He just stared, like something was still standing there. Watching us leave, I've worked dozens of cases since then. Dangerous ones, high-risk entries, but that's the only time my dog ever tried to pull me away from something, and I trust that dog more than I trust my own instincts. Because if Rex didn't want to go into that room, then maybe there was a reason.